One to go next time by. Everybody, let's get up on our feet and send these guys off in style. The fastest cars of the National Short Track Championships. Let them know you want the show. The must-see racing Xtream Sprint Series here at Rockford Speedway. Down the front stretch, thank you so much for sending them off. Folks on the back stretch, send them off the same way. Thank you so much back there, back stretch. Jason Cox takes the top side around his dad. Now David Byrne trying to make a move, 40-40 in second. David Byrne moves up. Tim Cox tries to get by on the bottom. Here it comes again. Second and third. Jason Cox pulls out to about a 7/8 length lead over David Byrne and Tim Cox. Jimmy McCune fourth. Brian Christan fifth, your top five. And just like that, Tim Cox pulls down. Might have a flat left rear on that 40 car. That moves David Goff into the fifth position. David Goff, winner of the first heat race here. Zero Anthony McCune also pulls in. Something not right on that zero car as he is pulled to the infield. And now your top three down the front stretch and into one. Jason Cox still holds the point. Jimmy McCune slowly wheeling in that 40 car of David Byrne. Jason Cox broke his neck in a racing accident at Toledo Speedway in 2013, a spin off of turn two. John Turnbull Jr. Eight laps in, John Turnbull Jr. slides to a stop in the bottom of turn two. I was just mentioning your lead of the race. Jason Cox broke his neck in an incident at Toledo Speedway in 2013. Has essentially taken an entire year off to get rehabbed and back into racing shape for these cars. Lap 8. Oh, and just like that, look at David Byrne take off, got around Jason Cox. Brian Christan put down a stir of smoke off of turn 4 again. McCune goes by Jason Cox for second. Cox slipping back just a little bit, but now your fast qualifier. And the man on the move in the first heat race, David Byrne, at the front of the field. Battle back in the back now. Back here, car number 43 in the 9 car. Turn 3, Vanderveer. John Turnbull trying to make his way around on the bottom down the front stretch. Out in front, it's all David Byrne. Brian Christan might have run out of luck in that 5 car. Might have cut that big right rear tire down as he is going to make it off the track. On lap number 15. Turnbull and Sam Davis racing in turn 3 and 4, the 81 and the 43. Turnbull clears him now. David Goff, the next one on the list for John Turnbull. Your leader now, lap traffic off of turn 4. Byrne bypasses 2 cars now. Two more cars. Jimmy McCune again right there behind him. Oh, cuts the nose off of Vanderveer. David Byrne nearly collects a lap car. As we're closing in on 20 laps completed in today's 50-lap feature. Jason Cox now trying to make his way through lap traffic as the 18 car of Jim Sheets closes in on him. Racing for position off of turn 2, the 1 and the 18. McCune now just over a second behind the 40 car of David Byrne. As they circulate laps in the high 11-second bracket. Rush hour in turn 3. Here comes the field. Three wide off of turn 2. That never works. Halfway home, next time by. Jim Sheets gets around Jason Cox and David Goff there. There goes 3rd, 4th, and 5th in turn 2. Jim Sheets now trying to put some distance between him and Jason Cox and David Goff. Goff moving forward in that 6A car. Lap car of Matt Vanderveer. Jason Cox makes a move around the outside and down into 1. Vanderveer holds a good line. Goff going to try to get by him on the bottom. Cannot get it done. Jason Cox squirts away as your leader now moving through the field with grace and ease off of 4. Could put a lap on the 6 car of David Goff. Goff being very patient with Matt Vanderveer. Moves up to the outside. Here comes the freight train known as David Byrne. 30 laps completed now, and David Byrne has 2 lap cars between he and the second place car of Jimmy McCune. Byrne making it look easy this afternoon here at Rockford Speedway. 18 car Jim Sheets, 2 cars directly ahead of him. Jason Cox. Next on the hit list for David Byrne. Look at the yellow and red car number 10 off of turn 3, now turn 4. The wing on that car is shoved a little bit to the right on top. That cannot be doing him any favors as that car is now to the bottom of the track and out of racing line. Slowing down after something has happened, a contact or something, to move that wing. If anything, that wing needs to be tipped to the left to lead the car into the corner, but being pushed to the right, that car handling absolutely decimated on the Ron Kohler car number 10 now down the backstretch. Jimmy McCune now clearing traffic, going to take one more good shot, it looks like, at David Byrne as we're down in 12 laps to go. Watch McCune in the 88 clear racetrack as your fast qualifiers going after David Byrne in a big way. "40 laps in for car number 40, David Byrne. This time by. McCune does appear to be closing on him. Let's see what lap traffic does. We've got one more chance for Jimmy McCune to make a move on the leader. Has McCune saved enough tire to get after that leader, or will David Byrne pick up his first must-see racing win at the championships today here at Rockford Speedway? McCune has to be looking ahead, seeing the lap traffic. He closes again, folks. Here it comes. Here comes the race down into turn 1. McCune is going to be right there. Five to go. Next time by, lap number 45 on the track right now. And here comes the race for the win. This is what it's all about, everybody. Get all excited. David Byrne going to try to hold off Jimmy McCune. David Byrne going for his first ever feature win with the Must-See Series here at Rockford Speedway. 4 laps to go now for Byrne, and here comes McCune. McCune's got traffic. He's got Byrne. Jason Cox slows on the backstretch. What happened to Jason Cox? Holy cow. Jimmy McCune out in front. No caution flag thrown. David Byrne now second. White flag coming out next time by on the 88. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner out of Peterson, Michigan, the Bulldog, Jimmy McCune. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. This is Jimmy McCune. Out of Petersburg, Michigan, fast qualifier today and winner of the sprint car portion of the National Short Track Championships. Let's go right to the point. Couple laps to go, you look to be closing on David Byrne, and then all of a sudden you all got a face full of Jason Cox slowing down. What happened? What happened for that lap there where you made the pass? I mean, that just looked incredible back there.
Yeah, we started losing the brakes about halfway through, so I just kind of rode, just kind of, conserving everything. I seen he was scooting pretty much almost the whole race, so I just kind of kept him in sight, and then I started digging at the end of the race, trying to get a good pattern without overdoing the brakes, because they were pretty much gone. But right place at the right time. I don't know how to explain it, man. Just at the right place at the right time, and we were there to capitalize on it. So he drove a hell of a race. I mean, he was aggressive going through the traffic. I mean, there ain't nothing he could have done any better, man. He drove a hell of a race. It was just unfortunate circumstances, and here I am.
You guys are going to have to deal with him for a long time to come. I got a feeling he's got one of these coming, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. The way I seen him drive today, he's going to get his, for sure.
David, I'll tell you what, you had him off their feet in the heat race down here, and then in the feature, it looked like you were sailing, and all of a sudden, like I talked about with Jimmy, Jason Cox just comes flying back at you, and you did a heck of a job keeping this thing from getting ugly right there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, he broke right in front of me, and I was already going to pass him going low, and I didn't have much choice, and I didn't know how far he was going to come. I probably didn't need to go that far, but it just sucks. The car wouldn't run. Good job, man. And in the second practice, and we came out late for qualifying. I think we had a shot at the pole tonight or today, and it just sucks. But a great race. Hats off to Jimmy McCune, and thanks for everybody coming out. And it's just our luck.
You come from Schellsburg, Wisconsin. This is essentially a home game for you, as opposed to Indiana and Michigan, the other places we run these cars. People here in the stands today for you? I mean, how far is Schellsburg from here?
Schellsburg's about an hour and a half, but our family-owned business is in Monroe, so it's only about 40 minutes to here. So we used to come down here and shake down the cars before we'd go. The closest track we had when we were running midgets and stuff was 3 hours away, so it would make sense to come here. I probably got a million practice laps around here. We ran one USAC race, but my wife, some family, a couple of close friends, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, David. Congratulations on a good run today. Hated to see it come off short of the win like that, but I'll tell you what, fans, I think you guys appreciate David Byrne a little bit more today. Thank you so much. Jim Sheets out of Anderson, Indiana, buddy. Podium finish, kid. Didn't even know if you were coming up this weekend, and all of a sudden you're standing out here on the front stretch.
Yeah, first time for me with Must-See Racing, so I'm pretty happy about this. Got a new guy helping us, the old friend of mine, Trey House, turning wrenches on the car this weekend. Good results.
Rockford Speedway is a sister track to Anderson Speedway. Of course, Anderson, Rockford, and South Bend Speedway, all three built by the same person post-war for midgets. You come from Anderson, and you're pretty familiar with that place. Does this bear any resemblance to Anderson in the racing, or is it just in name only, essentially?
Well, it looks like it. That's about it. It don't race like it at all. You know, it races totally different than Anderson. It's a good short track like Anderson, but it's definitely different.
There we go. Jim, you know, these cars running here this kind of speed, we ran the 150 laps there at Anderson a couple of weeks ago. You were involved in that, did pretty well in that as well. Could we run a big race like that here, do you think?
Sure. Go for it. Why not, you know?
We got to talk about these interviews. If you're going to do this, you got to put more words out than that.
I'm a little speechless. I'm a little speechless right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, you keep doing what you did today, you'll get the practice, my friend. Jim Sheets, first podium finish of the series, folks. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us. We'll be back at the Super Late Models here in just a few minutes.